Hello, welcome to Computer Tech and More. Today we're going to be taking a look at the ROG Falchion ACE mechanical keyboard. It has Aura lighting, PBT keycaps, mechanical switches. I chose the brown in the X series. This one comes in white, and it's a 65% keyboard. Let's see, it's got the back of the box, Aura lighting, so you need the Aurora software. I have a Asus motherboard, so I already have that installed. USB-C port, and let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, we opened up the box, and we got another box. It's got a little foam padding up here to help protect the keyboard, and it comes in this nice little cloth style sleeve. What else do we have in here? Some ROG stickers, and in here we got price and cables. So that is a gray cable. Let's take a look at the keyboard. Alright, this keyboard is well preserved. It is in plastic wrap. Whoops. Let's see. There's the opening. And let's get that out of the way. There we go. Okay. So that's making a little bit of sense. So the braided cable here is gray, and that matches the bottom of the keyboard fairly nicely. It looks like it's got USB pass-through 2. Okay, they are labeled, so it's got a 1 and a 2. Sorry, it is upside down. So one of these would be directly to connect to the computer, and then you got one more port to hook up to well, a peripheral, which is very nice. Not that you can use it for like headphones, but oh, it's got a switch. Never mind. But still, you can't use this other one for like headphones, but using for like a mouse or like your Xbox controller would be perfectly fine. Okay, so on the bottom here we've got 4 little rubber pads. Feels nice and sticky. It's got, oh, there we go, low feet. Feels a little rubbery, but not super strong. And then it's got high feet, and that feels pretty smooth. So do keep that in mind. Feels nice and rigid. Let's see, anything on the sides? Okay, oh, really close to the camera here. Right here, it's not going to work without me plugging in, but it's got some sort of controls. We're going to have to play around with what that does. I'm really curious about this 1 and 2. Okay, well, I just read a little bit on the back of the box. It has a little bit of text right there. It says, dual USB-C ports, flexible port placement, allow for a neat setup and enables users to pick toggle switches for 2 PCs. So that means it isn't USB pass-through like I was just hoping for, and is specifically just for hooking up PC1 or PC2 with this little toggle at the back. I would have rather seen it as USB pass-through. I'm going to just say it. That would have been a much nicer thing for on this keyboard. Then we have, let's see, other things about it. It's got this little plastic tray. Let's figure that out. Okay, well, the keyboard just kind of slid right in. So this sort of gives the keyboard a what's it, full, or what's it called, wrapped around experience. Sorry, I'm not a keyboard expert. I'm just mainly shopping for whatever I like the feel of. Or you can have it be like open frame, so in frame, open frame, I guess. Do note that once it's in here, you are stuck with its angle at whatever it is, but it still allows for all the controls to be easily accessed. So if you like it, that's sweet. I probably personally will use it without. Okay, while we're here, I'm gonna move my microphone close to the keyboard and do a quick listen. Well, sounds pretty okay. Okay, let's take a look at keycaps. So they have double printing on it. So that should be visible when the RGB lighting is shining up, or any color lighting that you have on there shines up through the keycaps, but they will probably not be illuminated. If in link, scroll, home, and the light modes, you got your print screen, your F rows up there. One, two, these must be profiles. That would be my guess. Not sure what all of them are though. Block, macro. So you just put your FN and that sort of thing. Okay, let's go ahead and plug it into a computer and play around with the keyboard some more. Alright, we are going to set up some RGB on the ACES Republic of Gamers Falchion ACE keyboard. So I'm in Aurora Creator. You can also set up more basic lighting in Armory Crate. So that is a downside of this keyboard, is needing to use Armory Crate. It uses a lot of computer resources to run, honestly, but you're stuck with it. But if you already have an ASUS motherboard or laptop or whatever, then you kind of already are using the software, so it's not as big a deal, I guess. But you can set up a basic lighting by selecting one of these. You get to choose the color, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to click on this, which brings us over here. So then holding down Control, I can select multiple keys. I click on Set as Layer. Once I have a layer, I can select what kind of pattern I would like. I prefer static, so I'm going to make it a static color. I go ahead and click OK. And then I will do more keys. So this software is not the easiest to use. I was sitting here trying to remember what I did with the another ASUS keyboard I recently looked at. Just trying to remember how to do it. So set as layer, as a layer 2, I suppose. And static again. Move it all the way over there. And I want this to be a purple-y color. That looks pretty good. So the color mixing is actually pretty good on this software. I do like that. But getting everything laid out is not the easiest. I'll see you in a second. I'm going to get this keyboard all set up. Okay, I've got everything nicely set up. A few things about this software. It allows for a lot of functionality. So if I really wanted to, I could have a breathing effect afterward and that kind of thing. And if these are not all perfectly lined up, the keyboard will flash. It's actually pretty annoying. But yeah, going through each of these is its kind of own layer. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me why it does it that way, but this is the way it's set up. And well, let me show you the keyboard. All right, that's the way the keyboard looks. And I'm bringing over my drop shift there. The ASUS one definitely appears a lot brighter. It actually looks really sharp. You can of course adjust the brightness. Oh, I didn't do the arrow keys, I forgot. But so I will say that looks a little bit pink. So it's not quite the same color. So the color mixing isn't quite as good as the drop shift, but I would still call it excellent or very good. Why would you choose this size keyboard? Well, it's quite a lot smaller. So it's good for a compact desk, or you more ergonomic for your wrist, for gaming. Of course, the disadvantage is you are missing certain keys, so you need to use the function. In theory, I probably could set it up so it would change color when I press the function key, so that I would know which buttons kind of highlight stuff, but I don't have that set up just yet. I may not play around with it during this review, but it has that sort of capability. let's go ahead and jump to the typing test, I guess. All right, as always with my typing test, I'm dyslexic and I'm reading it at a weird angle. The keyboard isn't positioned right in front of the screen. I've got my camera situated sort of halfway in front of my screen, so I'm having to look past it. So we're going to do the best that we can. And I've got my microphone pointed right at the keyboard so that you have the best chance to hear what the keyboard sounds like while I'm typing. Oops. All right, 49 words per minute. Well, that was pretty good, 98% accuracy. It's kind of on line with my average. The feel was fine. Noise-wise, they're pretty good. Certainly could tell what I was doing. A little hollow sounding, I guess. But it was overall pretty good. I have no real complaints about that. Let's do our gaming test. Before I get into game, I forgot to mention this. This keyboard has a touch bar on the side, and it can do volume up, volume down. Let's see. Zoom, keyboard function, macro, open web page, so all sorts of things. I'm going to leave it as volume, so that's pretty cool. And other than that, they claim that this has a memory inside of it to save your profiles. However, I don't see it saving my profile. So I don't know what's going on with it. Their claims are proven false, unless I'm just missing something, because it should just be the profile exactly as I set up on the other machine. But it's not, so I'm a little annoyed, peeved by that. Okay, so you may have noticed that the RGB lighting is off, and that's because I opened up Armory Crate and it turned everything off. And I have decided not to try to recreate my profile. And it says it has a memory chip inside of it, but it's not loading. The volume controls work nicely on the side. That's actually pretty cool. Don't know how much I'd use that. Oh, it just gave me some sort of RGB lighting. That's kind of cool. I don't know why it turned on. Let's check. So I think it just loaded the defaults that I have for like my RGB strips and stuff inside the computer. So this is a little bit louder than my other keyboard. Feels just as responsive. That's a lot of those guys. The game I'm playing is Black Mesa. It's just my game of choice as a first-person shooter. probably the most recent first-person shooter I've played. Oh, head crabs. Boom. So this probably won't be the best level for testing out this keyboard, but feels plenty responsive. Fire the rocket engine. So what do professional reviewers say about this keyboard? Well, on ratings.com, RTINGs, this is rated at, for gaming, 9.3, office work, 7.8, programming, 8. Build quality is rated as an 8.5, which is pretty good. The backlighting is rated at 9.9, which is also pretty good. Typing quality is rated at 8.5, which is pretty good. And latency rated at 9.9, which is 1.3 milliseconds. So overall, some very good scores. Not necessarily the best, but very good nonetheless. Alright, conclusion about this keyboard. Well, the memory feature on it doesn't seem to work particularly well. It sort of tries to, and then just kind of fails spectacularly. As in, it sort of loads, and then it just goes away. So, honestly, I find that very annoying, especially at this keyboard's price point. Like, just for 120 bucks, the memory should just work. It should just load. Whenever you plug it into any computer, it shouldn't have to load software to get your color scheme. Usability of the keyboard, the switches are fine. I don't think they're as good as MX Brown's, but they were fine. Keyboard sounds a little bit hollow to me, but it's adequate. Certainly its review rating is very good. More leaned towards a gamer than for typing, but if you really need a compact thing, you could get a numpad or something like that to use that for work and stuff, and that would be perfectly adequate, and you remove the numpad when you're not needing it. Sits low enough to the desk that it's fairly comfortable to type on. Not the most comfortable I've used, but fairly comfortable compared to my drop shift. About equivalent. So, would I recommend it? It's fine. The build quality is pretty good, but it's not USB pass-through. This is for a second computer I tested it out. It doesn't work. I do like this volume slider on the side. That's pretty cool. But it's pretty good. It's not great. It's not excellent, but it's pretty good. Which, I guess we'll leave it there. Thank you for watching. I've got more keyboard videos coming up, or on my channel already. Please subscribe for more content. I'm big into fan testing right now. I've got a Patreon page. Please check it out. And have a good day.